What's up, photo freaks? I'm Matt DeConti. Welcome to episode 7. Today I'm coming to you from where they shot Father of the Bride. Pretty cool. With Steve Martin. Great movie, really funny, and it actually goes along with our theme today. What we're talking about is our 10 recommendations for wedding clients. Things you need to know in getting prepared for the wedding. And I'll just kind of go down my top 10 list, what I think are important, especially when it comes to photography. So, number 10, you want to find a photographer that specializes in weddings and engagements. That's a pretty big deal. If you have somebody that shoots sports photography or sometimes some weddings, and that's okay, but it's really not going to get you the specialist type of feel and someone who just focuses solely on that. Weddings and engagements, that's a big deal. Number 9, beware the BS photographer. Sometimes you'll get somebody, I've heard, who promises 1,000 edited photos and all kinds of stuff. Be cautious of that, because generally for myself as a wedding photographer, I spend about 45 minutes to an hour editing each photo. So he or she might just be cropping those photos and calling them edited, or spraying and praying, which means just holding down that button and getting a ton of duplicate shots, or they're not going to give you that many shots, because if you do the math, 1,000 shots, if I were to edit every single one of them, spend an hour, that'd take about 5 months. So if he is going to do that, ask him how many wedding clients he has per year. So if it's over 20, then yeah, he's not going to be giving you 1,000 shots, he or she. Number 8, a la carte. You might want to find a photographer who provides you with photo albums and pictures a la carte. The benefit of that is you get to pick and choose your photos and what packages. When you have a photographer who creates a photo album for you, it might be great, but funny enough, I've asked wedding clients what their favorite photos are, and more often than not, they're different than the ones I would pick out. So a la carte gives you the option to create that stuff, those pictures and that album specific to what you like, which it's most likely going to be a little bit different than what the photographer likes. Number 7, check the venue and bring a photographer too. If you are shooting at a church, then be cautious, because most often the church is not going to let the photographer go in certain areas that you think you might be able to get certain shots. I've been at churches where I cannot go down the aisle or anywhere close to it, so a lot of my shots have to be from the side. In choosing a venue, you might want to consider that if your photography is important to you. Number 6, the time of day. It's pretty big, the time of day that you take your shots. You want to avoid noon or 1 or 2. If you can get closer to shooting your group shots and your couple shots closer to sunset or golden hour, your shots are going to just look that much better. When it's around 1 o'clock or noon, it casts some pretty nasty shadows and can be very difficult and won't give you the best photos possible. Number 5, unplugged. Please do it unplugged. That means basically no other photographers other than the photographer that you hire. Letting people know not to have a flash. I've had some shots where I've got old Uncle Fred in the background in places you wouldn't believe with this camera, and he just ruins your shot, which might come out as something beautiful and it gets ruined. And also at the reception, he might put on his flash. I'm getting an intimate moment of you guys, and that shot looks really good, and then all of a sudden Uncle Fred shoots his flash and it can ruin the whole shot. So keep it unplugged. Just, if you can, do it with the photographer that you hire and trust that he's going to give you the shots possible. Number 4, spend a little money. on your photographer. It's okay to spend some money. I think probably the third most important thing you can spend on is your photographer. You obviously want the dress and the venue, but outside of that, these shots are going to be memories for a lifetime. It's okay to spend some money. You want to be cautious of the people who are nickel and diming you, but if you're being thorough, doing a background check, it's okay to spend some money. Believe me, it's worth it. Number 3, you want to make sure you have a contract. Keep track of everything. If it's a professional photographer, he's going to have a contract with you. I've seen somebody, or I had a client come to me actually, who their photographer backed out like a week before the wedding, and they were just in dire straits. They didn't know what to do. So get a contract, very important. Number 2, get a second shooter. It is totally worth it. There are plenty of good second shooters out there. Chances are your photographer knows somebody. You can get shots of the groom getting ready, because most often your main photographer is going to be with the bride, with you, shooting shots of you getting ready, and he'll have one angle possibly of you coming down the aisle. The second shooter will give you shots that you won't be able to get otherwise. It's not even humanly possible, because your photographer can't be in 2 places at once. And some of the shots of the groom getting ready are really cool, and some wide angle shots of the ceremony. There's just so much you can do with the second shooter. It is totally worth it, and it will come at a far less price. And number 1, what I recommend is you need to smile during the pictures. So do all of your groomsmen and bridesmaids. So it does help to get a wedding planner or coordinator. They will remind people where to smile. I've done ceremonies where, especially if they're at a church, the bridesmaids are just kind of like not smiling or looking drab, and that can really kill a shot. Or the groomsmen are looking around, not paying attention. The wedding planner will stay on top of that stuff. And if you can't afford a wedding planner, it's not in your budget, get somebody to kind of remind other people to hold each other accountable, and kind of, give them the elbow to keep smiling, especially during the ceremony, because there's nothing other than the Uncle Fred with the crazy camera. The second biggest thing that can happen to ruin your picture is people not smiling. You want them to look like they're happy and it's a celebration. So the number 1 thing, smile, and get someone to help with the smiling. That's it. If you want to check out other videos, just click here, and don't forget, subscribe please, and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, Photo Freaks. We'll see you on the next episode. We're out. Peace.